So I don't know if you guys can see what I'm showing you right now. I'm like sharing my screen. This is a really great example of kind of like what we did just now. And let me know if you can't see it. I'm not really too sure how the screen sharing works, how you can view it. But this is exactly what we just did right now. He does do a lot of 1 point perspective, and there's not really a horizon line here because we're not looking somewhere on the outside. He chose kind of like the middle of the back of the wall to kind of be like his like vanishing point, even though nothing is really vanishing there. That's something that you can also do. Like if you want this cul-de-sac, let's say, you can have like a building on the back of your street. You know, these lines don't have to be straight. They just have to go in that kind of angle that we're drawing them. So Van Gogh actually does do a lot of 1 point perspective where he kind of takes a room, and the room might not have like a horizon point, kind of like what we did, but it always has a vanishing point, kind of like the furthest point of the viewer, or the viewer being you. Kind of like, what's the last thing that I'm seeing? So if you want it to be like this like kooky looking house being like the end of it, you can kind of have it be that way. You can definitely like play around with the lines and everything however you'd like. But just like the most important thing, like I said, is kind of like getting started with the guidelines that I gave you, and from there you can kind of like do anything that you want, kind of go in any direction as long as you're just following the lines that you've made for yourself. So even here, I kind of just like made a house with like a roof and everything. And the roof might not be perfect right now, but I can kind of like move it to where I think the middle of the house is. So let's say the middle of the house is here, and make the middle of the roof right there. You can kind of give it paneling following that vanishing point. You just can't forget that one side, especially if you're doing 1 point perspective, one side of these buildings are always going to be kind of like flat, and they're going to be very straight. And even like if I'm drawing like a little mailbox, kind of like I'm drawing a little mailbox here, the mailbox goes with the vanishing point. Like like if you see like the bottom of the mailbox is at the same angle of the street or the sidewalk. Are you guys understanding this, or do you want me to repeat anything?
No. Okay.
Yeah, you guys can like continue making kind of like these like square buildings. And if you want, you can kind of like experiment on the other side, or I don't know, keep practicing this one. I think this is a very helpful skill to have. Kind of give the illusion of depth. Even with the vanishing point, you can kind of like draw your street lines. The ledge. Oh wow. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's.
Oh, I just got it too.
That was crazy.
I don't know. This is in my basement.
Scary.
Ooh, class is almost over actually. So I was actually going to show you 2-point perspective, but I don't want to get started and then have you guys be left hanging. So I think I am going to leave it at just 1-point perspective. You can kind of take your drawing. You can, if you want, you can on the back, so you can remember the guidelines, like try drawing the guidelines again. Or if you want to complete this drawing, erase your guidelines. And, you know.
I mean, I did okay. It's just the lines aren't clean all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is I'm not great at it compared to like a lot of my artist friends. And I think it's definitely something that you build up over years.
I'm doing a lot of blind contour drawings.
What happened?
I've been doing a lot of blind contour drawings.
Oh, that's so cool. I'd love to see them if you upload them onto your Google Drive.
Oh, sure. I have like 1 or 2.
I love blind.
They're so fun. They're not that hard. I feel like a lot of people could do them. If there's people think that they're not.
Yeah, you can definitely develop like a style for them as well. There's a lot of artists that stylish line contour. Oh, my eraser's breaking. Yeah, so eraser broke. End it here. I am gonna go until 11 though, but I do want you to either draw the guidelines again so you guys remember it and you guys can keep practicing, or you guys can kind of finish up your drawing here. Either way, I do want to see finished product of you guys, whether you kind of drew the guidelines over again to kind of keep for yourself, or if you just want to add color to it. There are, once you kind of give the illusion of perspective, there is a way to kind of like properly add color to kind of continue giving that illusion. And the colors in the foreground, like let's say the foreground is like part of this house and then this building, definitely going to be the ones, the things big to the viewer and closer to the viewer, they're going to be brighter in color, as opposed to the things that are like kind of like going into the back of the illusion or the back of the street. They're going to tend, they tend to be a little bit darker in color. So if you do want to go ahead and like color this in and like try to continue giving that illusion, because that's all part of it, continuing that illusion. And it is just an illusion because it's just like a flat piece of paper. We're kind of being like magicians here.
Yeah, for art class, I did like my actual art class. I had to do optical illusions.
Yeah, optical illusions are hard, definitely.
I think that's like not like the strongest, because it's like you have to look at it too. Like, anyone could do it. It's how you look at it.
Yeah. You know what I do to kind of like if I'm drawing or painting something and if I'm not too sure how I'm feeling about it, instead of asking someone else's opinion, take a picture of it with your phone and then look at it. I feel like when I take a picture of something with my phone, I can always see where I'm going wrong.
And the thing is, whenever you tell someone, they're always like, "Oh yeah, it's good." They never say it's like.
I know.
Because like people don't want to say it's bad.
I understand. Yeah. Or another trick that I have is putting it against a mirror and then seeing kind of like the other side, like flipping a painting or flipping a drawing. And then I'm like, okay, that's where I have to fix it. Because I do believe that if a painting or drawing is successful, it's going to look good whether it's flipped or not flipped. So try that with your optical illusions if you're like having a tough time with it. Like put it up against a mirror and like look at it in the mirror. But I do want to see how this turned out for you guys. Next week I can do 2-point perspective, and then we'll go back for 1 week of our independent projects. Hopefully, kind of help push you a little bit more in your project and kind of give you guys ideas. Hey, she's doing a room, and you can definitely follow like the picture that I have up right now, which is Van Gogh's room, to see to give your room of depth.
Yeah, I remember like in the 4th grade, we had to do like we had to draw a room based off this project. Like,
Were
we didn't do perspective, we just drew the room.
Were the guidelines similar to this, like the perspective, or no?
We didn't do any perspective, but we had to draw the room.
Oh. Yeah, it is hard to draw a room, especially if you want it to look like a room without having like these lines in place, I feel. Yeah, so whether you guys are drawing like buildings or kind of like a whole house with like a lawn and everything in front of it. I know my piece of paper is small, so I don't really have room for like a lot, but definitely try it out. How do you guys think that you did on this?
What?
How do you guys think that you did on this?
Good.
Think you did good? That's good. What about Rohan and Penny?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good? What was like tough about this, or what was easy about this?
The tough part was really nothing, but the easy part was just doing the lines and then the buildings.
Yeah, it does become easier once you kind of have everything like there for you. You just have to find it. What about you, Penny? I haven't heard from you in a while. You okay?